Let us now once again think about how the information is communicated in the bodies of a multicellular organism. Okay. The movement of a sensitive plant in the response to touch is very quick. Okay. We know it very well that a plant which are responding have very quickly responding. For example, if we talk about the sunflower, okay, during a sunlight, okay, what will it get grow? While at a night time or when the sun set, at that time what it get fallen down. Okay. So it is quickly responding towards this natural characteristic or sensitive plant. Okay. So the movement of a sunflower in the response to day or night on the other hand is quite slow. Growth related movement of a plant will be even slower. Okay. Now here you can see that the responding of a sunlight towards the day and night time are totally different and they are quite slow. Okay. Slowly they are moving towards the sun direction. Okay. So this can say that the sun sensitive plants, okay, which are present in a nature are totally responding towards the various activities. So growth related movement of a plant will be even slower. Okay. Now the growth, if we talk about the growth of a particular plant, that's growth have been very slow as compared to any of them. So here you can see that growth is also limited amount and it is very slow as compared to other. So plants grow very slowly and its growth is also limited. Even in animal bodies, there are carefully controlled direction to growth. Okay. If we talk about the animal body that's related to its, the growth are compared to that only. Okay. For example, if we talk about the animal body, okay, all the organs, okay, all the organs have a limited amount of growth. Okay. Up to limited amount it can able to grow it. Okay. Further it cannot be grown. Our arm and finger grow in certain direction. Okay. Now, if we talk about the finger and arm, okay, we know it very well that in a certain direction only our finger and arm are growing. Okay. If it is haphazardly, okay, if it is haphazardly, then we can not able to estimate how our body structure will be. Okay. So its direction is very complicated and so direction is fixed that in this direction only it can be grown. If we talk about arm, finger or many other parts, okay, all of them have a certain direction. In that direction only it will grow. Okay, it can't able to grow haphazardly. If it is haphazardly, okay, we can't able to respond. Our body structure get spoiled or damaged. So, controlled movement can be either slow or fast. So, controlling the movement are either slow or fast. It can be slow also and it can be fast also, okay, depending on the body structure. If the fast response to the stimuli are to be made, information transfer must happen very quickly. Okay, if the stimuli is fast, okay, if the response of a stimuli is very fast, the transfer will also fast. So, for example, a body or a animal body are responding towards the stimuli very quickly, then its transformation is quicker. If the transformation is quicker, then the response will be quicker. Same way, if the transformation is slow, then it can't able to grow fast. For this, the medium of transmission must be able to move rapidly. Okay, they get rapidly. Transmission of a medium from one to another. Okay, message passing capacity will be rapid. Okay, transmission will be rapid. So message are very quickly passed to the different organ, due to which it get totally quickly respond towards the stimuli. Stimuli towards the stimuli, that will be a quickly respond because of the transformation is very fast. Okay, as we know it very well, if the transformation in the organs, okay, if the transformation of a message from the particular organ which are responding towards the stimuli is very fast, then it will respond it very quickly. Electrical impulses are an excellent means of this. Okay. Here in these electrical impulses, okay, they play important role for the transmission and responding towards the stimuli. But there are limitations to the use of electrical impulse. Okay, if we want to use the electrical impulses, there is limitation. Firstly, they will reach only those cells that are connected by the nervous tissue. Only that cell can be connected which are controlled by the nervous tissue. In nervous tissue, we know it whether there is a presence of a cell. Okay. So they will reach towards that cell, and that cell which are present in a nervous tissue will what? Not each and every cell in the animal body. Okay. Now we are talking about that only. That electrical impulses that which are formed or created that are reaching to only which cells? The cells of a nervous tissue. Nervous tissue cells will be reached, okay? Electrical impulse will be reached towards the cell of a nervous tissue, and that will work towards it. Secondary, once a electrical impulse is generated in the cell and transmitted, the cell will take some time to reset its mechanism before it can generate and transmit a new impulse. Okay? Once a electrical impulse is generated in a particular cell, and after that it get transmitted, okay, it will take little bit of time. Here telling that only that it will take little bit of time for generating new impulse. Okay, if the cell want to create a new impulse, then it will take certain time. Okay, up to that, what will be the cell will be under control of the first. In other words, cell cannot continually create and transmit electrical impulse. In second word, we say that cell are not creating maximum amount of impulses, telling that only that cell which are present, okay, they are not creating maximum amount of electrical impulse. It will take a little bit of time for generating new electrical impulse. It is thus no wonder that most multicellular organisms use another means of communication between cells, namely chemical communication. So, if we talk about the cell, cell will take little bit more time. Okay, in cell, if we want to generate electrical impulses, then cell will take a lot of time to create new electrical impulse. So, multicellular organism uses which type of chemical communication? Which type of communication? Chemical communication, due to which a response will be faster. Rapidly it get responded. Okay, so we are talking that only. If instead of generating an electrical impulse, stimulated cell release a chemical compound. What? That stimulated cell will release chemical compound. Okay, a cell which are stimulating, that cell only create a chemical compound. This compound will diffuse all around the original cell. Okay, that will be diffused all around the cell. And if other cell around have the means to detect this compound using special molecule on their surface, then they will be able to recognize information, even transmit it. Okay, if the special molecule on the surface are there, that will recognize information, and that information will be transmitted to the particular organs. This will be slower, of course, but it can potentially reach all cells of a body regardless of a nerves. Yeah? What? This response is slower, but its potential, okay, of reaching the particular cell, okay, of a body are regardless of a nervous connection. Okay, and it can be done steadily and persistently. Okay, it can be formed. Okay, this whole procedure are a steady form. Okay, the process is of steady form. This compound or hormones used by the multicellular organism for control and coordination, so a great deal of diversion. Okay, this compound, okay, or hormones which are used for the multicellular organism are under control of showing a diversity, as we will accept. Different plant hormones help to coordinate growth. for coordinating growth, okay, there is a presence of a hormones. Hormones will help to grow a particular organism. Okay, for the growth of a particular organism, hormones play a important role. Okay, depending on the hormones, the growth will be discussed. Okay, so growth is totally depends on the hormones. Okay, as the hormones characteristic or speciality or function is well, the growth will be perfect. Development and respond to the environment. So, plants hormone help to coordinate growth. Okay. For the coordination of the growth, plants hormones are the important for the growth and development and responding towards the environment. They are synthesized at place away from where they act and simply diffuse to the area of action. And they get diffused towards where? That the area of an action. So, wherever the action will be there, okay, these synthesize, okay, and act for the characteristic. So, let us take an example that we have worked with the earlier. When a growing plant detects light, a hormone called auxin synthesized at the shoot tip. At a shoot tip, whenever the growing plant are detected by the light, okay, when a plant get a light, at that time what hormones will be, which hormone? Auxin. Okay, auxin will be synthesized where at a shoot of a tip. Help the cell to grow longer. Okay, which will help? Which hormones? Okay, auxin hormones which are synthesized that will help to grow a cell. Okay, due to which the growth will be estimated and growth will be seen. Okay, so once again I am repeating, when a growing plant detect light, whenever the growing plant are detecting light, a hormones called auxin are synthesized at a shoot of a tip. At a shoot of a tip, what? Okay, auxin hormones is formed that will help cell to grow longer. When a light is coming from one side of a plant, auxin diffuses towards the shady side of a shoot. Okay, whenever a light is coming from the one side, okay, whenever light is coming on the one side, auxin will diffuse towards the shady side of a shoot. Okay, so it get totally opposite to that particular light. Okay, so here you can see when the auxin are formed or synthesized, at that time auxin will diffuses towards where? That it will diffuses towards the shady part. Okay, in a plant, so shoot, at a shoot there is a presence of lightening part as well as shady part. So auxin will transmit towards the shady parts, and this concentration of auxin stimulate the cell to grow longer on the side of a shoot which is away from the light. Okay, due to which you will see that growth will be towards where? Okay, totally opposite towards the light. Okay, wherever the light are there, totally opposite towards the light. Okay, उसके opposite direction में क्या होगा? Towards the opposite direction it will grow. Okay, so growth will be seen towards the opposite direction of a light. Thus the plant appear to bend towards the light. Okay, due to which you will see that the plant will seem to bending towards the light. Okay, bending towards the light. Okay, which we have already seen. Okay, in activity 7.2. Okay, so this way plant will stimulate towards the natural thing. Another example of a plant hormones are gibberellin, which like auxin help in the growth of the stem. Okay, now the second hormone is gibberellin, okay, which are helping towards the growth of a stem. Cytokinins promote a cell division. Cytokinins work on characteristic or a function of a cytoplasm is to promote a cell division, and it is naturally then that they are present in a greater concentration in the area of rapid cell division. Okay. So they are concentrated, okay, or their concentration is very high at the area of rapid cell division, such as in a fruit and seeds. Okay, for example, if we talk about a fruit or a seeds, okay, there is a present and there is a division at maximum amount. These are example of plant hormones that help in the promoting growth. Okay, this is because of the plant hormone which are helpful for promoting growth. But plants also need a signal to stop growing. Okay. Now, okay, we have started the growing hormones. Okay. Now we have to control it. Okay, up to the stage. Okay. Whenever there is a limitation, we have to stop the growth of a plant. For stopping that growth, which hormones, new hormones will be there? Abscisic acid is one of the example of the hormones which inhibit the growth. Okay, it will inhibit the growth, that will stop the growth. Okay, now first we have started the growth hormone, okay, which help the plant to grow. Okay, now after a certain time or certain stage we have to stop that growth. For stopping that growth, we there is a presence of another hormones that is known as the abscisic acid. Okay, they will what? They will inhibit that growth and it effect including wilting of leaves. Okay, due to which the growth will be stopped. Okay, now the hormones in a animal. However, such chemical or hormonal means of information transmitted using animal. Okay, now we will discuss about the animal hormones in which there is a presence of chemical and hormonal characteristic. What do some animal, for instance, squirrel? Okay, if we talk about the squirrel, experience when they are in the scary situation. Okay, squirrel, you know it very well. Squirrel, okay, which are so much active. Okay, whenever they know that there is a scary situation, okay, why the response is very quick. Their body have to prepare for that either fighting or running away. Okay, due to which their body can be as much secure that they can fight towards and run away from the scary situation. Both are very complicated activity that will use a great deal of energy in control way. And for that, we know it very well. For what fighting and running, we need a lot of energy. Okay, now, what the deal? Okay, the deal is that their body are as much affected or as much characterized that they can fight towards the difficult situation. Many different tissues types will be used and their activity integrated towards in this action. For in this action, you know that there is a presence of many different tissue which are working by its own. However, the two alternate activities, fighting or running, are also quite different. Okay, both of them are different. Okay, fighting and running. So here is the situation in which some common preparation can be useful, made in the body. This preparation should ideally make it easier to do either activity in the near future. How will this be achieved? Okay, now we know it very well that certain for fighting or activity or running, okay, we need energy. For needing that energy, little bit of what, okay, procedure can be prepared. Okay, for that, for performing that activity, that would be one procedure. Okay, how the body work or how it respond towards the stimuli. Okay, for that whole characteristic and whole process, that is one phenomenon. We will talk about that. With the body designed in the squirrel drill, only an electrical impulse via nerve cell, the range of a tissue instructed to prepare for the coming activity will be limited. Okay, if the squirrel body have only what, okay, electrical impulse, okay, via nerve cell, okay, it is passing through via nerve cell, then there is a activity should be limited. Okay, because we know it very well that electrical impulse in a cell will take lot of time to prepare new electrical impulses. Okay, if the cell is preparing electrical impulses, it will take lot of time. But in a squirrel, okay, we are saying that they are performing. They are active towards the stimulus very fast, and its activity or response towards the stimuli are also very much rapid. Okay, for that we will see. On the other hand, if a chemical signal were to be sent as well, it would reach all cell of a body and provide the wide range changes needed. Okay, so here we have seen that chemical signal, okay, chemical signal will work rapidly, okay, as compared to electrical impulses. Okay, or that we have already studied for okay, previous also we have studied that in compared to a electrical impulse, chemical signal have a rapid response. Okay, they pass very rapidly. Okay, so due to which you will see that response towards the stimuli will be rapid. This is done in many animals, and this can be seen in many animals in which chemical signal will form, including human beings using a hormone called adrenaline that is secreted from the adrenaline gland. Okay, now we are talking about the adrenaline, which are one of the hormones. Okay, which are one of the hormones and which is secreted at the adrenaline gland. Okay, where it is located? It is located in adrenal gland. Okay, so we are talking about the adrenaline hormones. Adrenaline is secreted directly into the blood and carried to a different part of a body. Okay, this is secreted in where? Okay, blood, and it is directly transmitted or transported towards the all the part of a body, because we know it very well that blood are in all parts and all organism consist of a blood. The target organs or the specific tissues on which it acts includes the heart. As a result, the heart beats faster. Okay, heart will beat faster as compared to anything else, resulting in the supply of more oxygen to our muscles. Due to which you will see that there is a supply of oxygen to all over the muscles or over the body organs. The blood to the digestive system and skin is reduced due to the contraction of muscle around small arteries. Now, if we talk about the blood, that there is a blood are in a reduced form where okay, in a digestive system and skin, because contraction of a muscles. Okay, these divert the blood to our skeleton muscle, and due to which you will see that the blood get diverted towards the skeleton muscles. Okay, this way the whole blood are transmitted towards the body. The breathing rate also increases because of the contraction of a diaphragm and rib muscle. Breathing rate, if we compare our breathing rate, that get increase okay, due to the contraction of diaphragm and rib muscle. All these responses together enable the animal body to be ready to deal with the situation, and due to which you will see that the response can be seen by the animal towards the situation. Depending on the situation, these hormones can be secreted as well as they get transmitted to the different part, and due to which we will see that there is an action towards the certain situation. Okay, towards a certain situation, there would be action. That action can be seen because of all these hormones. They get work for it and give a response. Such animal hormones are part of the endocrine system. Okay, these animal hormones are the one of the part of endocrine system which constitute a second way of control and coordination in our body. Which is the second way of control and coordination? Okay, endocrine system. Remember that plants have hormones that control their directional growth. Okay, there is a presence of a hormones which will in a plant which will direct a growth. What function do animal hormones perform? Now, in plant we have seen. Now, what about the animal? On the face of it, we cannot imagine this role in a directional growth. Okay. On that purpose, okay, we cannot able to see the directional growth. We have never seen an animal growing more in a one direction or the other. Okay. So, if we see on the animal purpose, okay, there is not a certain part get grow, or in a one direction the growth cannot be seen. It will be seen in all the direction. Okay. So, growth will be in all direction in a plants, in a animal, sorry, depending on light or gravity. But if we think about it a bit more, it will become evident that even in animal body, growth happen in carefully controlled place. Okay, if we talk about that, then the growth will be in a limited form. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? That in a certain organ get grow, okay, faster, while the second one will be less. Okay. In that case, if we see, okay, our hand get long, okay, by her whole body is controlled by that. Plant will grow leaves in many places on the plant body, for example, but we do not grow finger on our face. Okay, so leaves can be grown in any part of a plant. While in case of that, our body cannot have a growth of a finger in our face. Okay, the finger structure are fixed, that they are grown in our hand only. Okay, they cannot be grown in our face, so it is limited. The design of a body is carefully maintained even during the growth of children. Okay? Whenever the growth of a children are carried out, the design should be careful and maintained. Let us examine some example to understand how hormones help in coordinated growth. We have all seen salt packet which say iodized salt and enriched with iodine. Okay? In salt, we can see that iodine salt are present. Why is it important for us to have iodized salt in our diet? Iodine is necessary for the thyroid gland. For the thyroid gland, there is a importance of iodine to make a thyroxine hormone. Okay, if we want to create a thyroxine hormones in the thyroid gland, there is a necessity of iodine. Thyroxine regulate carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism in the body, so as the provide the best balance for the growth. Okay, the growth should be balanced. Okay, for that there is a presence of a thyroxine which will regulate carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. Okay, due to which our body get constructed and growth. So growth should be in a balanced form. Iodine is essential for the synthesis of a thyroxine. Okay, if we want to prepare a thyroxine hormone, okay, there is a need of iodine, and which is very important for preparing that thyroxine or synthetic or synthesizing that thyroxine hormone. In case of iodine is deficient, okay, if we take a case in which iodine are deficient, okay, they are not in limited amount in our diet, there is a possibility that we might suffer from goiter. Okay, in our diet, if the iodine proportion are not limited, then we will face a goiter. Okay, then the body will face a goiter. One of the symptoms in a disease is swollen neck. Okay, neck gets swollen. Okay, in goiter disease, you can see, or in a goiter defect, you can see that the neck gets swollen. Okay, so तो कि यहाँ से वो फुगे की तरह वो हो जाएगा. Okay, देखते हैं swollen यानी क्या फूल जाएगा. Can you correlate this with the position of a thyroxine gland? Sometimes we come across the people who are either very short or extremely tall. Have you ever wondered what this happened? Okay, in many of the people we are saying that they are very draft यानी क्या, तो small and tall like a giant. Okay, why this situation can be seen? Because of the growth hormones is one of the important secreted by the pituitary. Pituitary gland will perform growth hormones, which are very necessary. As its name indicates, growth hormones regulate growth and development. Okay, they work for the growth and development of a body. If there is a deficiency of these hormones in childhood, it leads to dwarfism. Okay, if the growth hormones are in a limited form, then the child will be dwarfed and short. You must have noticed that many dramatic changes in your appearance as well as that of your friend as you approach 10 to 12 years of age. Okay, whenever we are seeing that 10 to 12 years of a particular body structure get changed. This change associated with the puberty are because of the secretion of a testosterone in male and estrogen in female. Okay, at that period what, okay, hormones will be create and secretion of the hormones can be seen. Okay, in a male testosterone and in a female there will be estrogen. gene. Okay, that hormones will form. Do you know anyone in your family or friend who has been advised by the doctor to take a less sugar in their diet because they are suffering from diabetes? Okay, these are common. Okay, after certain age, diabetes are common. Okay, now small age also diabetes are seen because of the maximum amount of sugar are introduced in our blood. As a treatment, they might be taken injection of insulin. And for controlling that diabetes, insulin is injected in the body. This is the hormones which is produced by the pancreas and help in the regulating blood sugar level. Okay, and this is important which insulin are very important and that is injected. But insulin are formed in our body only, but they are not forming properly, so we have to inject it from the outside for controlling us blood sugar. If it is not secreted in proper amount, the sugar level in the blood rises, causing many harmful effects, and due to which we see that there is a many harmful effects are seen in a body. If it is so important that hormones should be secreted in precise quantity, we need a mechanism through which this is done. The timing and the amount of the hormones released are regulated by the feedback mechanism. For example, if the sugar level in the blood rises, they are detected by the cell of the pancreas which respond to producing more insulin. If the sugar level are in a blood are rising, at that time it will respond to the insulin. As the blood sugar level fall, insulin secreted is reduced. Okay, whenever the blood sugar get a level, okay, or limited, at that time insulin gets secreted in a reduce. Okay. Now growth hormones, pituitary gland and thyroxine gland. Pituitary gland will stimulate growth in all organs, while thyroxine gland will regulate metabolism for the body growth. Now the insulin which is regulated blood sugar level. Testosterone, okay, which are formed in which gland testes and ovaries, where development of a female sex organ, regulate menstrual cycle, etc. All this. Now the adrenaline hormones that are secreted in adrenaline gland, and same way releasing hormones which are present in hormones, which are one type of hormone that are stimulate the pituitary gland to release hormones.
They are a pair of yellowish, flat, pyramid-like glands which lie over the upper end of the kidneys. They look like a cap on the kidney. Each gland has an outer yellow adrenal cortex, an inner reddish brown adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla secretes two hormones called adrenaline or epinephrine and non-adrenaline or non-epinephrine. These are commonly called catecholamines. In conditions of physical and mental stress, such as fall in blood sugar levels, or when a person is injured or exposed to cold conditions or suffering with pain, it is also secreted during anger, fear, or grief. It helps the body to face these conditions. It is therefore called fight, fright, and flight. These hormones increase alertness, pupillary dilation, raising of hairs, sweating, etc. The hormone increases blood supply to heart and skeletal muscles. It constricts arterioles and blood supply to skin and gastrointestinal tract. The bronchioles dilate. There is increased rate of breathing, oxygenation, and heartbeat to meet any emergency. Catecholamines stimulate the breakdown of glycogen, resulting in increased concentration of glucose in blood. They also stimulate the breakdown of lipids and proteins. Adrenal cortex can be divided into three layers called zona reticularis. Inner layer, zona fasciculata,